Are you all ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the media. On behalf of the Ghana GoldBod, I would like to welcome all of you to our head office. We've had to call this press conference at such short notice because of the need for us to update the nation and by extension our partners involved in gold trading in Ghana about the ongoing transition of the licensing regime governing the gold trading sector of Ghana. As we all know, Ghana is endowed with huge gold resources as a country. As we speak, Ghana is a lead exporter of gold. And this important mineral resource we've been endowed with by God has to be harnessed properly for the benefit of the Ghanaian people. This is the main vision of the NDC Mahama government, which has led to the establishment of the Ghana GoldBod, an institution tasked with a mandate to streamline and structure gold trading in Ghana and to ensure that we are able to optimize national benefits from the entire value chain of our gold resources. The Ghana GoldBod Act of 2025, Act 1140, was passed on the 29th of March of this year by the August House of Parliament and assented to by His Excellency the President on the 2nd of April. Since then, that law has been enforced. But as a new organization with a new mandate, we saw it necessary, we deemed it necessary to adopt a gradualist approach to the implementation of our mandate and to ensure that we provide ample time for all stakeholders to comply with the new statutory regime that governs gold trading in Ghana. And so we've invited you here in previous time for other press conferences at which we gave deadlines and later extended the deadlines for persons engaged in gold trading to apply for a GoldBod license. We gave a final non-extendable deadline of 21st of June. 21st of June has come and gone, and we don't intend to extend that license at that deadline. And so the main purpose of this press conference is to inform you, our friends in the media, and by extension the good people of Ghana, that the new GoldBod licensing regime has taken full effect, and that effective immediately, only a Ghanaian who has gone through the laydown due process and has been issued with a license by the Ghana GoldBod can legally engage in gold trading in Ghana. What that simply means is that if you are not licensed by the Ghana GoldBod, you are committing a crime if you buy gold or you engage in any form of gold trading. All the previous trading had from the defunct Precious Minerals Marketing Company PMMC and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources have all been revoked by the Ghana GoldBod Act, and we will no longer continue to respect those licenses. So whereas we allowed various stakeholders to buy gold, to trade gold with their previous PMMC licenses or licenses to deal in gold issued by the minister responsible for mines, same is not the case as we speak today. That legal regime has come to an end. And so, even though we know that ignorance of the law is no excuse, we want to, for the last time, use your very esteemed platforms to communicate to all our stakeholders across the country that do the needful. We are not saying that you cannot apply for a GoldBod license today simply because the deadline has elapsed. That is not the meaning of the deadline. Anybody who wants to trade in gold can apply for a GoldBod license at any time of their choice. At any time of their choice. And once you apply, we will consider your application in a spirit of fairness and transparency. And we will make sure that once you meet the eligibility criteria, you are given your license. Means is that if you do not have a GoldBod license as we speak today, you cannot legally buy or trade in gold in Ghana. So all you have to do is to wait, apply for the license, be issued with a license before you engage in gold trading. If you flout this important legal provision, you will be committing a very serious offense. And I want to address our minds to Section 63 of Act 1140, the Ghana GoldBod Act 2025, which says that a person shall not buy gold from a person in the country unless that person has been issued with a license by the GoldBod. And when you are issued with a license, it comes with terms and conditions. The terms and conditions can be gleaned from our website. Every category of license comes with its own unique terms and conditions. Every license also comes with its own requirements. And we have put in place appropriate measures to ensure continuous compliance with these important regulations at all times by our licensees, to ensure not only responsible trading, but to ensure that the state is able to benefit from the trading of our gold and other precious minerals. And so Section 63 subsection 2 provides that a person who contravenes a provision of subsection 1, and subsection 1F is what says that you can't buy gold without a license. It says a person who contravenes a provision of subsection 1 commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of not less than 50,000 penalty units and not more than 200,000 penalty units, or to a term of imprisonment of not less than 5 years and not more than 10 years, or to both. Term that this is a very serious offense, and it's our expectation that all stakeholders will play by the rules so that we will not have to crack the whip or anybody. But for those who are hell-bent on trading illegally without a license, we are serving notice that we are coming after you. On the 8th of July, His Excellency the President, on whose vision the GoldBod has been established, will commission a very important unit of the Ghana GoldBod. This will be a public event, and the media is cordially invited. This event is going to be the inauguration of the GoldBod task force. So 8th July at 8:30 a.m. at the National Security Secretariat, popularly called Blue Gate. There is a yard in there somewhere where this event will be taking place, and the media is cordially invited. Further details about this program will be put out there. It's a very important program because on that day, the president will adore this new security task force, who have the same powers as police officers and who have been given a special and specific mandate to help the states combat and defeat the phenomenon of gold smuggling, the canker of gold smuggling, the canker of illegal gold trading, and price disruptions that deprive the state of the needed revenue, the needed profits, the needed forex for our economy and the development of our country as a whole. And this task force will be driven by the intelligence units that we have already deployed across the country, gathering information on the activities of all smugglers and illegal gold traders. We know you. You are not in hiding at all because your cover is blown. We know who you are. So you better do the needful and stop the illegal gold trading you're engaging in and the gold smuggling, and come for a license and do your business as a responsible citizen and contribute to the development of Ghana. unit will be the investigative unit under this task force, as well as the GoldBod tribunal provided for by the GoldBod Act, which will be established before the 8th of July. And all measures are being put in place to ensure that our enforcement mandate is executed to the full, to ensure that the states and the people of Ghana derive maximum benefits from our gold resources. Many people, many entities have applied for GoldBod licenses as we speak. By the 21st June deadline, we have received over 300 applications for the buyer license tier 1. We have received close to 200 applications for the license buyer, the buyer license tier 2, and about 30 applications for the self-financing aggregation license. For an aggregator license, we have received about 15 of them. As we speak, management, with approval of the board, has approved over 240 licenses. But once the applications are approved for conforming with the requirements of the licenses, we need to now do it digitally by sending you an email that your license has been approved. You also get that in your accounts, because the GoldBod license application platform ensures that every applicant creates an account before they apply for a license. So you get the notification that we have applied, we have approved your license in the system. You are asked to pay the license fee, which you pay digitally through Ghana.gov. And when we receive confirmation of payments, we process your license, we print it, goes through audit verification, and we then sign the license. And so 240 applications cutting across all the 4 categories have been approved, but as we speak, just about 123 have been actually printed and issued. And I can report to you that 1 aggregator license has been approved and issued, 3 self-financing aggregator licenses have been approved and issued, 32 license buyers, tier 2 license buyers have been approved, and 87 tier 1 license buyers. So a lot of people are complying with the law, and we commend them. For those who have been notified that the applications have been approved but are yet to pay the money, please take urgent steps to pay the money. And if you paid your money and you're not hearing from us, do contact our licensing team, so that if there is any hiccup somewhere, they can quickly rectify that for you to get the necessary notification for us to proceed with the process. For those of you who have also paid and your licenses have been duly printed and signed, you need to immediately make your way to our headquarters here to pick the hard copy of the license. And when you come there, you need to come with your Ghana card, and there are some basic information that we need you to provide us before we give you the licenses. The licenses are valid for 12 months. And so when you see us launch or inaugurate the task force, don't say that, hey, who are these people? Yes, they will be in uniforms, not the regular uniforms that military or police officers wear, but the civilian operatives who are national security operatives will be in their own uniforms. And on the 8th of July, the president himself will showcase that. But as part of the task force are also members of the military and members of the Ghana Police Service, who will be deploying on a permanent and sustainable basis to all mining areas and gold trading areas to ensure that anybody trading in gold is compliant with the law. And anybody can call to make any intervention for us to leave you off the hook. We will make sure that we take you through the full rigors of the law. So by way of summary, this is the short announcement that we have for our stakeholders. If you don't yet have a GoldBod license, make sure you have it. And don't say that I've applied for the license, I don't have the license, so because I have applied, I will continue to trade. You must wait and get a license before you trade, because getting the license helps us to trace the entire value chain. We know who is buying what quantity, and therefore if gold is being smuggled, we will know. And when you're buying the gold, the terms and conditions of the license mandates you to issue mandatorily the approved and official GoldBod receipts, which helps us to reconcile, what is going on in the gold trading space across the country and make sure that we are getting value for money as a country. The GoldBod has so far been a great blessing to Ghana, and there is no gain saying that. Within the short period that we have operated, first as PMMC and now as GoldBod, we've exported close to 50 tons of gold as we speak, and that is gold from just the small scale sector. And for the first time in Ghana's history, gold export from the small scale sector has exceeded gold exports from the large scale sector, showing clearly that the small scale sector is a very important and critical sector that, as the president said, if properly harnessed, can really help the development and the transformation we all seek for our beloved country. And that is why he has established the Ghana GoldBod. And so we will not let the people of Ghana down. When you hear that we have exported over 50 tons of gold, because this month alone we are doing almost 9 tons of gold, and then you know that this month alone we brought in nothing less than $900 million in forex for the Bank of Ghana. And so if the Bank of Ghana has enough forex liquidity for the market and for government obligations, and the CD is strong and stable, it is because of some of these things that the GoldBod is doing. And we hope to sustain this. You know that in the whole of 2024, gold exports for the whole year stood at 66 tons, with an export value of $4.6 billion. We've done only 6 months, and yet we've crossed the $4.6 billion we got for the whole of 2024. We've crossed it. We've gone beyond $5 billion. And in terms of the volumes too, we are almost getting to 66 tons. We've done 50 tons and over. And we are optimistic that by the end of the next month, we would have hit the 60 tons. And we are doing all this so that we cut out the activities of enemies of the state, the criminals who have decided to engage in gold smuggling and deprive of our nation of the needed revenue for development and forex for currency stability. And with the establishment of the GoldBod and the liberation of the task force that has been set up by the GoldBod under the direction of President Mahama in the Ministry of Finance, we hope to intensify the fight against smuggling, because the approach so far has been ad hoc. We have been relying on men from the national security apparatus on an ad hoc basis. So you realize that any time we deploy national security to the market, there is discipline. By any time we recall them, then you see people engaging in all form of vices in the market. This time around, we are not going to record them because we have a permanent standby force protecting the national interest, ensuring that everybody trading in gold has a license. And to have a license means we have your data, we've done the necessary due diligence on you, we know the source of the money you're using to trade in gold, and we know it is clean money and not fought with any money laundering or terrorism financing funds. And we also know that you are a Ghanaian, because foreigners are not allowed to engage in gold trading anymore. I think that has become a broken record. Everybody knows that. Most of the foreigners have complied with the law and have left. Others are still hiding in their rooms in Kumasi and Obuasi. In the coming weeks, you see us raiding most of their hideouts and arresting them and seizing their gold and so on. And this time around, we are not going to deport any foreigner. We are going to make sure that we prosecute the matters to the very end. Because if Ghanaians will to be prosecuted, then the situation cannot be different for foreigners who brazenly oppose the law. So we want to call on the media to help us to sensitize the public, particularly those who desire to engage in gold trading or who wants to buy gold, to follow due process. If you want to know that an entity is licensed by the GoldBod to deal in gold, please go to our website, goldbod.gov.gh. Effective tomorrow, not today, effective tomorrow. You can check the repository tab when you click on the repository tab, you will see the list of all licenses we have issued. You will know who is an aggregator, who is a tier 2 buyer, who is a tier 1 buyer, and that list will be updated regularly so that you are not defrauded or you are not misled, because that will not be an excuse for violating the law. So the long and short of this press conference is that the transition is complete. The new legal regime governed by the Ghana GoldBod Act of 2025, Act 1140, has fully taken place, and hence anybody who desires to buy gold or engage in gold trading must get a GoldBod license. Your PMMC licenses will no longer be recognized. Your licenses from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources will no longer be recognized, because we've given you ample time to follow due process and apply for a new license, be issued with that license, and do your work legally in conformity with the new regime. On that note, I want to thank you once again.